Why hello my friends, my name is Owen1, and after all the leaks and Nintendo getting pissed, they finally released a trailer for the Nintendo Switch 2. So first off, obviously, the tablet is a lot bigger, the console itself is a lot bigger, to make it easier to like upgrade the specs and shit. But the design's very sleek. I think Nintendo wanted to go for a more modern approach because the Switch kind of looked like a kid's console. I mean, not really, but compared to other consoles, it looked very like childish. And Nintendo wants to compete with like PlayStation, who are predominantly don't sell to kids. You know, the kickstand looks like it's gonna break. It just looks like it can't withstand any pressure. But you know, that could just from looking at it, I guess. I don't understand why they didn't use the OLED kickstand, 'cause that one was pretty good. Honestly, this one, I think the main reason they didn't go with the OLED one would be because like it looks a little wonky. So the Joy-Cons, obviously they're bigger, but they're more circular shaped. I think the main reason they're making it bigger is because Joy-Cons are kind of small, and it's very difficult to play with, especially if you have it on like the horizontal side. It seems like all the buttons are returning on the main part, but there's an extra button below the home button, and no one knows what that is yet. That's not the only extra button. There's one right on the bottom of the horizontal mode, so I'm assuming that extra button is the same as the button on the side. But one thing of interest is the Joy-Cons, their stick. It seems like there's not that little flap that it had before where the dust can get inside. So hopefully that fixes Joy-Con drift. If it doesn't, then that's just terrible. I don't know how you could design something so horribly. So I saw something saying that it might be used as a mouse because the trailer shows it sliding across the table. So that'd be pretty sick. And it shows like the new Mario Kart game. And apparently it can hold 26 players per race. But like, I don't think Nintendo Switch Online can even do that. I think it would crash every time. The servers are not that good. I can't even load into a Splatoon match, so hopefully this means that Nintendo Switch Online is going to be better. The servers and stuff, but I don't know. Because they're definitely keeping the service. They want to make a new one. The Switch the same. Has a power button, volume button, vent, headphone jack, which is nice because I thought they were going to get rid of it. Because I know some newer consoles, they don't have that. Has a USB-C, an extra one, because there's one on the bottom for charging. But I'm assuming the USB-C is for like just another cord to have. Like maybe it's kind of like the PlayStation where you can just like charge your controller through that. I'm assuming. But that also makes me wonder if the dock is going to have USB on the side, because the original one does, but they don't really show. Oh, from this angle, it doesn't look like the dock has USB. It just looks like one solid thing. So maybe that USB-C on the top is a replacement of the USB on the side of the dock. I doubt it because you can't really see the angle of it, but that would also mean we have one less charging port. I feel like that'd be kind of lame. But speaking of the dock's more rounded, just like the Joy-Cons. Honestly, it looks cool, but I'm a little disappointed about the name. When I heard the leaks, I'm like, okay, the Switch 2 is just a placeholder name. They're going to call it something cool. But just having two, I guess they want to avoid what happened with the Wii U, when people are just thinking it's an accessory. And obviously they want to be like, no, it's the new thing. Honestly, I think this is the best that Nintendo could have done. Best we could have. This is as good as we could have expected from a new console. I mean, I was expecting a little bit more like change in design, but like, as long as the specs and stuff, and like, as long as it be 60 FPS and run like 4K, this would be great. It's obviously from like face value, we can't really see a lot that's new, but I'm sure the actual console will have a bunch of features that we don't know yet. I mean, there's going to be a whole direct on April, so it does make you wonder about the Pro Controller though, because if the Joy-Cons are different, then they'll probably make the Pro Controller a little different too. They'll have to have an extra button on the side. But like, I'm wondering if the old Pro Controller can connect to the Switch 2, because depending on how important that button is, if like it's unplayable without the button, you probably couldn't connect a Pro Controller. So I wouldn't be surprised if the older Pro Controllers aren't compatible, or even the Joy-Cons or anything. Speaking of compatibility, that is one of the most important parts about this. The Switch has so many good games that you just can't afford not to have on it. So I'm thinking that it's going to be like the 3DS, where the newer cartridges have like a little tab on them, so you can't put it in the old Switch, but obviously you'll be able to put the old cartridges in the new ones. But for frame rate, a big complaint about the first Switch is it's like max 30 FPS. So maybe if, obviously this better run 60 FPS, if it doesn't, people will be pissed. When you do backwards compatibility, will you be able to run older games on a higher frame rate? Because there might be like a cap programmed in there where, you can't go past 30 FPS. So hopefully that should be done with an update. You just update every game hopefully you update every game that you transfer through systems. Playing Breath of the Wild without pirating on 60 FPS would be amazing. I don't pirate, I'm just, definitely not. But that should be a possibility. And also, third-party games, I'm sure like Fortnite will run way better. Currently, the Switch cannot run Fortnite to save its life. It is a mess. It's like 15 FPS. It's terrible. So here's the main question: will this be successful? Because we know what happened to Wii U. It didn't do very well, even though it was a decent console. It was just marketed terribly. But I think that the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to have decent marketing, obviously. The main reason why people will buy this and why it's going to be a very high-selling console is because of backwards compatibility. If you're a Switch owner, why would you switch to another console that can't play any of your games? If I can still play like all the collection of games I've gotten over the years, and new stuff obviously, then people are going to get that. The marketing for the Wii U was very centered on like kids and stuff, where this one is probably going to be, just like the first Switch, it's going to be focusing also on like adults and stuff, because it's even the design, you can see they're like making it less colorful and more just like sleek and like new. But personally, I'm trying to get this off launch. That'll be great. Hopefully there are going to be a decent amount of launch games, but they don't really need to have a lot of launch games, because if you already have every Switch game catalog, every Switch game as your catalog, it'll be fine. It can't support all Switch games. I'm assuming Ring Fit Adventure would be like one of them, just because the shit that you need Joy-Cons for. But I'm sure you can play like 99% of games on this. Thank you all for listening. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'll be doing more like gaming content. And remember, I don't have a slogan.